Good morning. Today we're going to review Anvil Gladiator. Just rented this and literally just took off of Area 18. So again, I don't own this ship, but thanks to the Fleet Week, you're able to just pop on and rent and try ships out. So again, this is a bomber, we'll call it a light bomber from Anvil Aerospace. It has 4 size 5 torpedoes, and then a bunch of size 2 missiles. And pilot control, you have 2, I want to say they're size 3. We'll take another peek in the MOBA glass. And then you've got a turret up top, kind of reminiscent of like a World War II bomber. Mostly for defense, probably to watch your rear end. And look-wise, relatively aerodynamic. It's definitely a cool looking Anvil ship. I really love the Anvil aesthetic. I always have and always will. Definitely my favorite manufacturer next to Crusader. So again, we'll go ahead and head inside and take a look. Alright, we're still climbing out here. We'll take a look at the loadout. It's going to be locked because it's a rental, so I'm not going to be able to change anything on it. So again, we've got all these size 2 missiles, some size 5 torpedoes, beacon drive, 2 all-stop shields, so that's pretty decent. Weaponry rise. Got some M4 laser cannons, and it's not letting me scroll to see what's at the turret. Been a lot of server issues with the loadout manager, so I'm just glad we're able to bring it up. Take a look at the turret. Those look to be size 2 or 3 laser repeaters. Yeah. Those look like Badgers, so maybe size 2. Hard to tell from this angle. But that's not what we're reviewing here. What we're reviewing is how the ship flies. Yep, so there's those laser cannons. Alright, let's find a better point of reference. Use our bounty locator as our point of reference. Love the sound of the engine, sounds good. Alright, we'll check our pitch. Pretty slow. Check roll. Very slow. Yaw. That was decent. So overall, I'd rate this maneuverability rise, right in the middle, right around a 5. A little bit more agile than a Vanguard, but not by a whole heck of a lot, which makes sense because its competition would be the Vanguard Harbinger, which also carries 4 size 5s, but has a lot more pilot-controlled weaponry and turrets, so this is completely outgunned by the Vanguard. But let's go ahead, check out the acceleration. No afterburner. That's pretty decent. It's about 980 top speed, so it's low. Check deceleration. Pretty good deceleration. Using boost. Into reverse, not bad. So, pretty maneuverable for what it is. I would go ahead and go after this bounty on stream, but it'll take a long time to get there. Let's take a look around the cockpit. Typical MFD layout. Thrust on the left. Roll with the stick and rudder again. Strafe left. Strafe right, left and right of the stick. Okay. And then pitch as usual is hard to check. Yep, push forward on the stick, pull back as it should be. Alright, so that layout makes sense. Overall decent cockpit layout. MFTs look like they'd be something you'd be able to use pretty well. Ejection handle between the legs. And yeah, I mean, nothing really to say here. Pretty basic layout. Works well. Definitely has a bomber feel to it. You know, something like, I don't know, not quite A10, but very standard attack layout. And again, appearance-wise, you can't beat it. You can really see those maneuvering thrusters work here. Yeah, I'd say it handles pretty well. We'll go ahead and try to get to the bounty on the street. If you feel like it, you can just call it now and head on out, or you can continue watching for the stream, obviously. We'll go ahead and see how these size 5 torpedoes work. This is that initial bounty on air mission you get, so it's I'll say a Mustang Delta usually. So it's rocket pod versus our size 5s. I think we're gonna win. Not sure. We'll see. It might be close. And again, during Fleet Week, if you haven't seen it, you can see the Invictus fleet. Actually, it looks like the Invictus fleet might... Oh, there they are, around Microtech. So you can find them on the ARC map. They move from Microtech, Everest Harbor, ARC Corp, and back. It's fun to look at the Javelin and the two Idrises. It looks like we're going to be heading to that moon. So again, the servers have been having a really hard time right now. We've been dealing with some real server issues. I think CIG flipped the wrong switch, or there's just too many people popping on. So early morning, late evenings are the best time to play because of, you know, just too many people on during the day. Seen a lot of back-end server issues. This is the second time I've had to reset my character. I've lost some UEC, I've lost some items, but it is what it is. This is an alpha. It's a good one, but it's still an alpha. Let's see if my shields are still here. Yay, I still have my shields. So this is my one gripe with Star Citizen. Right here, travel time. Especially when you're live streaming, it makes it kind of difficult to keep a viewer's attention because you're like, hey, we're going to go do some action in about 10 minutes while we're en route. So I'm going to just sit here and rant. I know other YouTubers would edit this out and record videos, but I like the live stream format. It unfortunately does mean I lose. For some reason, I use the NVIDIA built-in streaming. I lose the beginning of the stream and the end of the stream. I don't know why. It just happens. Like, I'll watch it after the fact and like my first 20 words aren't there, and then the last 10 words aren't there. But it is what it is, nature of the beast. For what I have right now, I cannot afford a different setup, either time-wise or financially. Again, due to the COVID situation, impossible furlough or downgrade for me. So I'm looking at potentially being downgraded from a captain to a first officer, which would not be good for me pay-wise, because where we live is rather expensive. So I would end up having to, I don't know, find a nice happy van down by the river for me and my family. So let's hope that does not happen. So if you're hearing this and you're thinking about flying, I suggest doing it. It's perfectly safe. Probably the safest it's ever been to go flying. Everyone's wearing masks, the aircraft are being cleaned. So I think it's a relatively overall safe situation. A lot safer than going to Walmart to do groceries. All right, 2.5 million out. And then we'll go to the moon. That's no moon. It is a neat looking ship. I do wonder at the shield choice for a bomber though. I might have gone with one size 2, even though it's a fighter. Just oversize the shield, just to make it a little harder to kill and give it a better chance of actually getting to the target. I mean, obviously you'd be moving in as a fleet of these and, in game, not just one up against an Idris. It'd probably be, 6 or 12, 2 wings heading in. Alright, let's plot a course to the moon. And again, rented ships, you can't change the loadout, so we have what we have. Actually, I am curious. Yeah, Badger laser repeaters in the turret. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to specify if we're using size 2 or size 5s. So we'll have to see how that works out. I hope in the future you'll be able to specify, because it'd be kind of pointless to launch a bunch of size 2s at an Idris. And we're not even going to bother with the guns, we're just going to use missiles. We're a bomber, damn it. Glare is real. That's nice. I'm not able to get a missile lock yet. It is not locking missiles. Well, that's an issue. mouse button, see if binding may be messed up. Nope. Alright, we're gonna have to take this guy out the old-fashioned way. Definitely not very maneuverable. Having to use a lot of speed control just to keep this guy in front. Of course, using cannons is not the greatest. It's really disappointing that I cannot use my missiles on a bomber. Continually tracking with missiles. Nothing. See you later, buddy. Well, I guess that concludes the summary. Missiles work a lot better when you can use them. And yet it shows 2 gone. At some point I think I heard destroyed, so I think he actually shot the torpedoes out from under us. So yeah, there's that. Bugs, bugs, bugs. Again, when you encounter bugs like this, please make sure you write them up on the issue cancel. So I'm going to write this one up as soon as I finish the stream. Alright everyone, have a great one.